Hi, this is Kate, and we're graphing inequalities. Read the 4 statements carefully and choose the one you think is true. Of course, there's no one right answer to this question. It's a matter of opinion. My ulterior motive here is getting you to remember what these symbols mean. If you chose A, then you're a dog person. You think dogs are always greater than cats. If you pick choice C, you think that dogs are better than cats most of the time, but maybe you've known some pretty awesome cats in your life, so you decided that dogs are greater than or equal to cats. Those of you who picked choice B are cat people. You think dogs are less than cats. And those that picked choice D think dogs are usually less than cats, but maybe a dog could be awesome enough to be equal to a cat. Once we know the meaning of these symbols, we can represent inequalities on a number line. Which graph do you think represents x is greater than -5? We're looking for the graph of all the numbers that are bigger than -5. Make the best choice. The graph in choice B represents all the numbers that are bigger than -5. A represents all the numbers that are greater than or equal to -5, whereas B just represents the numbers that are bigger than -5. This is a subtle difference. It has to do with whether or not we fill in this endpoint. If we fill in the endpoint with what sometimes we call a closed circle, we're saying that we're including the -5 in the set of numbers that make the inequality true. If we don't fill in the endpoint, sometimes called an open circle, then we're only including numbers that are bigger than -5 in the set that make the inequality true, and not -5 itself. So some examples of numbers in set A are any number that's bigger than -5, but -5 itself is in there too. Examples of numbers that make set B true are, again, anything that's bigger than -5, but we do not include -5 itself. Choice C represented all the numbers that were less than or equal to -5, and choice D were the numbers that were only less than -5. Which value could we substitute in for x to make this statement true? X is less than -7. Make the best choice. The only value that makes our statement true is choice D, -7.01. This is the only value that's to the left of -7 on the number line. +2 is way over here. -6 is still to the right. -7 doesn't make it true because we only want values that are smaller than -7. So the only value in our solution set is -7.01. I want to take you back here just for a moment because there's a temptation to think that anytime the inequality symbol points to the left, we can just make our graph go to the left. But that's not necessarily true. Which inequality best represents this graph? Read the statements carefully and make the best choice. The statement in choice B says 2 is less than or equal to all the numbers we want to graph. Notice in this case that the graph points to the right, but the statement, the symbol, looks like it's pointing to the left. The difference, of course, is the order we write the number and the variable. A clever way around this would be to rewrite each statement with the variable on the left and the number on the right. And then we'd maintain that consistency between the graph pointing to the right and the symbol pointing to the right. This is Kate, and you've been graphing inequalities.